In problem 15, we are looking at matrix problems where we're both going to add, subtract, and multiply matrices. In this first one, we want to take 2a minus a third c. I would deal with the 2a first, taking matrix A, multiplying through by 2. When we do that, we get 0, negative 8, 2, 4, 6, negative 14. Next, I would deal with this negative 1/3 c. Personally, I think it's easier to add matrices than to subtract them. When you subtract, usually you end up missing the negative at some point, so adding just makes it a little bit easier. So instead of multiplying through by 1/3, I'm going to multiply through c by negative 1/3. This gives me negative 1, negative 4, positive 7, negative 5, positive 5, negative 3. Now I can add each of the corresponding elements of each matrix, which gives me negative 1, negative 12, 9, negative 1, 11, negative 17. The only reason I could add them together is because both these matrices are a 2 by 3 matrix, which means since they have the same dimensions, I can add and subtract them. Next, we're going to look at multiplying. Multiplying, the dimensions have a little bit of different requirement. I know B is a 2 by 2 matrix and A is a 2 by 3 matrix. Since these middle numbers match up, I can multiply them, and my product matrix will be a 2 by 3. So I take matrix B, which is 4, negative 10, 2, negative 2. I'm going to multiply through by matrix A, which is 0, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, negative 7. To fill in the first row of my product matrix, I focus on the first row of B, and now I will go column by column down A. I want to match up the elements. 4 times 0 is 0, negative 10 times 2 is negative 10, or negative 20. Now I'll move on to the next row. I get 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, negative 2 times 30 is negative 30, or negative 10 times 3 is negative 30. Then our last row, last column, I get 4 times 1 is 4, negative 10 times negative 7 is a positive 70. That fills my first row of my product. Now I'm going to go to the second row. I match this up with the first column. I get 2 times 0 is 0, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Now I'll match it with the second column. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And finally with the third column, 2 times 1 is 2, negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 14. I can simplify what I have in red to give me negative 20, negative 46, positive 74 for my first row, negative 4, negative 14, and positive 16 for my second row. And that's my final matrix. If you want to, you can use your calculator. The way you would do that is you hit the second button on your calculator, then go down to the matrix button. It's written in a different color above your x minus to the negative 1 button. This will open up matrices. You're going to want to scroll over to Edit. Then click on Matrix A. It will allow you to input the dimensions of the matrix and then the elements of the matrix. You want to do the same thing for matrix B. So again, you'll go second matrix edit and input the dimensions and the elements of matrix B. You then want to exit out by hitting second and then quit. You can then go back into the matrices, but instead of scrolling over to edit, you're going to want to stay under the name. So go back into the matrix, stay under their names, and you can hit matrix A, and then again go in and hit matrix B, and it will tell you what that product is. Alright, real quick for this final question, C times B. C is 2 times 3, whereas B is 2 times 2. Since these middle numbers don't match, we cannot multiply.